Hey guys, Charlie here, back for another video. Today I'm going to be ranking the albums of one of my favorite alternative rock bands of all time, Faith No More. Got this really cool original album series which has 4 classic studio albums and 1 live album in it. Really cool stuff. So, Faith No More, I've got a biography thing up here which I'll just read a bit. They're from you may have heard them, formed in California in the late 70s, early 80s. They've had a revolving door of guitar players, and there's 2 different lead singers. As far as studio albums are concerned, they had a revolving door of them before. Chuck Mosley joined in 1983. He was there for the first 2 albums, We Carol in 1985 and Introduce Yourself in 1987. Then, of course, it was replaced by Mike Patton, who's been with them for the last 5 albums. Their most recent one, Soul Invictus, came out in 2015. That was their first album in 18 years at that point. They took a big break. Are still together. Hopefully we do maybe get a new album from them at some point in the future, but currently they have 7 studio albums. So with these ranking shows, I'm going to rank, you know how they work. I've ranked them all from my least favorite to my favorite. Just my opinion. There's no right or wrong answer here, so please leave your ranking in the comments. And when I talk about the albums, I'll give a song that I like from it, and a bit about the album. So, with no further ado, let's get into it. Coming in at number 7, is going to be their debut album, We Care a Lot, from 1985. This is the first to include Chuck Mosley on vocals. So I don't dislike any of these albums. I'm just getting it up here. But I find this album just isn't super memorable. Don't love it that much. I mean, there is still some pretty good stuff on here. The title track, We Care a Lot, is fantastic. Jungle's pretty cool. Pills for Breakfast is an instrumental, which is okay. The song Mark Bowen is actually named after a former guitar player who was there before Jim Martin joined the band. He replaced him for the recording of this album, which is pretty cool. He's a really great guitar player. He left after Angel Dust in 1992. So as far as a lineup for the We Care a Lot album is concerned, you would have had Mark Borden on drums, Roddy Bottom on keyboards, and Billy Gold on bass. Those guys have been in the band the whole way through. And plus Chuck Mosley on vocals and Jim Martin on guitar. So that's We Care a Lot round out. So, okay album, not great, but it's alright, but it is my least favorite, coming in at number 7. Number 6, we're going to go with the album that came right after that. Same lineup as the previous album, Introduce Yourself. I do know there's a lot of people who would rank this a lot higher. A lot of people love this album. But for me, I don't love it that much. Chuck Mosley, I don't dislike his voice, but do like Mike Patton, a lot better. Some pretty good songs. Anne's song is really good. The title track's pretty cool, kind of short and fast. Death March. They redo We Care a Lot, so a bit more consistent from start to finish than We Care a Lot. So decent stuff. Introduce Yourself coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 5. This one might surprise some people. I'm just getting the CD out right here. Got 4 of them to show you from the original album series. So number 5, I'm going to go with King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime from 1995. I do know there's a lot of people who would have this a lot higher. That's cool. For me, I do like this album. Just don't love it as much. Find it's not quite as consistent as some of the others. But still some really solid stuff. The opening song "Get Out's" really good. Ricochet, Evidence. I actually really like the song "Star AD." That's a really cool song. "Ugly in the Morning," "Digging the Graves," probably my favorite song on the album. "Take This Bottle," "King for a Day," "What a Day." That's just thing. So a lot of good stuff, good songs, good solid stuff here. "King for a Day," "Fool for a Lifetime" coming in at number 5. Number 4, I'm gonna go with all these top 4 albums I really like a lot, I will say. So number 4, we're gonna go with album of the year from 1997. This is a really good album, a lot of great songs. Collision's great, Strip Search I really like a lot. Last Cup of Sorrow is one of my favorite Faith No More songs of all time. Helpless is great. Mouth to Mouth got a really cool keyboard thing in it. This is the first album to include John Hudson on guitar, who's still in the band today, I think. Ash to Ashes is kind of the more popular, well-known song on here. Got That Feeling, Paths of Glory, Pristine is good. So, yeah, really good album. Album of the year coming in at number 4. Number 3 is going to be their most recent album from 2015, Soul Invictus. Really love this album a lot. I do know I rank a lot of the modern albums really high. And I do really like this one. Got a lot of great songs. The title track's kind of a cool, quiet and creepy song to open it up. Some favorites would easily be Superhero. That's really good. Sunny Side Up is great as well. That's probably possibly my favorite song on the album. Separation Anxiety. Kind of Shame. Rise of the Fall. Black Friday. Mother F. Pretty cool. Matador, From the Dead. So really great stuff here. Soul Invictus coming in at number 3. Number 2, we're going to go with what most people probably would pick at number 1, but it's always, I love it a lot as well, but it's just going to be my number 2. It's going to be Angel Dust from 1992. This is the last album to include Jim Martin on guitar. He left after this. A lot of really great stuff. Fantastic album. Land of Sunshine. Caffeine. A lot of really weird stuff in here. So Faith No More, very, very alternative band, and they do a lot of very strange things. They cover a wide range of genres. They do some hard rock and some metal, and they employ a bit of like the funk metal thing that was kind of popular in the late 80s with Red Hot Chili Peppers and Extreme and stuff. They do a lot of that stuff, and they add in all sorts of like really cool and weird sound effects. A lot of really great keyboards. Roddy Bottom is a really great player who really adds a lot to this band. So really like a lot of that stuff. Midlife Crisis is a top 3 Faith No More song of all time. Just really awesome chorus and stuff. And Mike Patton's got a really amazing vocal range. He can do all kinds of voices. He can do kind of like that really kind of high, kind of nasally type thing, which he especially does on The Real Thing, and does do a little bit on here. He can do like a quite whispery thing. Then he can do like really frantic, screamy stuff. He can do anything really. I also really like Billy Gold's bass sound on this. It really cuts through, and that really adds a lot. Like the rhythm section of this band, very, very important. RV is kind of like a really mellow one. Smaller and Smaller's got that really kind of intense, dense, kind of frantic sound. Everything's Ruined is great. Kindergarten's a lot of fun. Be Aggressive with like that. It's got that really good like children's choir thing, which is a lot of fun. Small Victory. Crack Hitler's really cool. It's got a lot of really awesome keyboards in it, and I love the way it kind of moves along, and I love the vocal effects on that. Then it's got Jizz Lobber, which is like really heavy and distorted and just crazy. Lot of just insane guitar and vocals and keyboards on that song. They do a cover of the theme from Midnight Cowboy, and then of course it closes off with their cover of Easy, which was a massive hit for them, one of their most famous songs of all time. So, amazing album. Angel Dust coming in at number 2. And my number 1, which has always been my number 1, really. I mean, the top 2 are very close, but my number 1 has got to be The Real Thing from 1989. Always loved this album, one of my favorite alternative rock albums of all time. First, it's Mike Patton on vocals, and I absolutely love him on here. I really love that kind of high-pitched, nasally voice that he does, which he barely ever used ever again on any of the later albums. But I really love this stuff. And here's kind of a funny story about Faith No More. So I kind of got into them back in grade 7, because, my family members were big into them, and I was a big fan of this album, and I also listened to Angel Dust a lot of the time, but it got to a point where I kind of became, because they're so weird, and there's a lot of stuff on these albums that's kind of hard to understand, I kind of got a bit turned off from them, and didn't really give them much listens for a long time, and then it was right at the end of last year, I've talked about watching Sea of Tranquility's YouTube channel many times. Pete and Martin Popoff did a ranking the albums show of Faith No More, which I really liked a lot. And then one day we were on holidays. We were playing a game where we go on Spotify and listen to the This Is This Band playlist, and we try and guess what song it is. And my dad did Faith No More, and I was listening to stuff, and that combined with having just watched the album ranking, I was like, man, that music is really good. I've got a lot of really fond memories of that. So I then got back into my Faith No More collection, just went back onto Spotify, started digging out all those albums, and bought the original album series thing here. So and I've been listening to them a ton, and you really realize how great these albums really are. I mean, and sorry, just putting that back in the case, and I really love this album a lot. Probably their most commercial sounding album, and it's their biggest selling album. It went platinum. Great songs on here. From Out of Nowhere, epic. Obviously, their huge hit. Falling to Pieces, absolutely amazing. One of my favorite Faith No More songs of all time. Zombie is great. Title Track is another top 10 Faith No More song for me. Just really awesome and epic. Just love that kind of, those really kind of smooth, quiet passages, and then the big, heavy stuff. And I love all the sounds that are explored on this album. Underwater Love. It's got Woodpecker from Mars, which is a really cool instrumental. They do an absolutely fantastic cover of War Pigs by Black Sabbath, and then closes out with Edge of the World. So, Real Thing, really great album. My number 1 Faith No More album. So, that's my album ranking. So, I'll just, go through it. Let's recap. Number 1, The Real Thing. Number 2, Angel Dust. Number 3, Soul Invictus. Number 4, Album of the Year. Number 5, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. Number 6, Introduce Yourself. And number 7 is We Care a Lot from 1985. So, overall, really great catalog. A couple at the bottom that I don't love all that much, but nothing bad, and all that top 4 albums that I just showed you are all fantastic. So yeah, thanks for watching this album ranking. Please leave your ranking in the comments below. Just your opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. I will try to get the Black Sabbath album ranking out within the next week or so. That's going to be hard because it's a super long catalog, but definitely I'm really excited to do that video. Hopefully I'll be able to do it soon. And until next time, thanks for watching.